Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Let's get started. First things first, a developing story out of Lewiston tonight where police say staff at a veteran's home walked in on a woman trying to kill her own father. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking at those court documents and what the man's daughter told police.
Well, the woman told police it was all a misunderstanding, but court documents show her father said she was trying to kill him. He told detectives the nurse aide who walked into the room that morning saved his life. 54-year-old Sandra McCarty of Las Vegas was arrested Thursday, charged with the first-degree attempted murder of her own father, an 81-year-old receiving care at the Idaho State Veterans Home in Lewiston.
Found a daughter of a resident where she was on top of him. He told her that she was trying to kill him.
Staff called 911 just after 8 a.m. when a nurse walked in the room and saw McCarty straddling her dad on his bed with her hands covering his nose and mouth, according to court documents. She yelled at McCarty to get off, and once she jumped off the bed, her father said, quote, "She's trying to kill me." According to court documents, McCarty was gone before police showed up. They interviewed her dad and found bruises on his body that weren't there the day before. The 81-year-old told police the nurse aide saved his life and that before she entered the room, another nurse aide came in and saw McCarty on top of him, but left when his daughter said everything was okay, according to court docs. A few hours later, McCarty was interviewed at the Lewiston police station. She told detectives it was all a misunderstanding. McCarty said she thought her dad was dying and noticed the mask for his CPAP machine was not on correctly. She told detectives she jumped on the bed in a state of panic to put his mask on, but he was resisting, according to court docs. The 81-year-old told police his daughter said, quote, "I'm going to take you out," while her hands covered his nose and mouth. The motive is still unclear. McCarty was arrested and charged with first-degree attempted murder. Her bond has been set at $500,000. And we reached out to the nurse who apparently saved this man's life. She told us she's unable to comment at this time. In the studio, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. The Spokane man who killed his ex-girlfriend and stabbed her 5-year-old daughter more than 7 times will now spend 36 years in prison. Court documents say Cassie died from multiple stab wounds back in 2021. This morning, family and friends close to her told the judge their lives are changed forever by her death.
He chose to rip a mother away from her children, a sister away from her brother, a daughter away from her parents. He stole our granddaughter, niece, cousin, and friend. He has left a hole that can never be refilled. We try to plant flowers and shine lights on our memories, but that dark place will always be there. We can't escape it.
Prosecutors and Joshua Phillips' defense attorney agreed to a recommended total sentence of 36 years. That's about 21 years for the first-degree murder charge and 15 years for first-degree attempted murder. Tonight, we're continuing to track the Chinese balloon first spotted over Montana yesterday. It's still unclear what the balloon's true purpose is, with both China and the Pentagon releasing conflicting statements. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we dive into what our local National Weather Service branch has to say about balloons and how this one compares. New tonight, Seattle police released body camera footage from July when a man stood outside U.S. Representative Pramila Jayapal's house and allegedly harassed her. Witnesses say 48-year-old Brett Forcell drove past Jayapal's home 3 times, yelling obscenities and threatening to kill her. According to court documents, Forcell was armed with a loaded handgun at the time.
What have I done wrong? Have I broken the law? Let's make it easy for now. Why am I living in the Communist States of America? I know that Pramila you all lives here. That's why I'm doing this.
Forcell's being charged with felony stalking and is currently on house arrest. He's expected to appear in court next month. Well, let's take a break from the headlines right now and talk weather with meteorologist Michelle Boss. Michelle, the week started off rather chilly. Might be a good weekend as well to stay inside.
Yeah, there's kind of a good news, bad news things with the weekend forecast. We've got some mild temperatures that are going to be sticking around. We saw mid-40s today, and it's going to be mild over the weekend as well. But we're not expecting a whole lot of sun this weekend either. Right now, temperatures are mainly in the 30s and mainly above freezing, though we do have some colder air around Omak, Wenatchee, and Grand Coulee. Those areas are in the 20s. Moses Lake right at freezing. Here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, we should stay above freezing all night. We get a few few sprinkles this evening, just a trace of precipitation, less than 1/100 of an inch in Spokane. Same in Coeur d'Alene and a couple of hundredths in Deer Park. You can see pretty dry out there right now. Could see some additional showers, though, early tomorrow morning. A few sprinkles again, and then more rain returns tomorrow night and into Sunday. Sunday looks like the rainier day, but both days we're going to see highs in the 40s. Overnight lows will stay above freezing both mornings.
It's the most scariest thing when you're at home and all of a sudden you're getting a warning that you need to go.
Right now, you're looking at the burn scar left behind after the destructive Bolt Creek fire. Right now, state lawmakers are trying to decide whether to spend millions on a plan by the state targeting wildfires in western Washington. The motivation? The changing climate, which experts say mean fires will become more frequent and more severe. And also, the bill would have a price tag of about $12.8 million over 2 years. It would fund smoke monitoring, forecasting, preparations for post-fire threats like debris flows, and evacuation plans. A library in western Washington will soon have a vending machine dispensing naloxone for free, commonly known under the brand name Narcan, the medications used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. The Tacoma Library says it has had naloxone available to staff since 2018, though now it'll be accessible to everyone. They say every location has at least one staff member trained to administer it. Let's go on now to Night Beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. The church at Planned Parenthood now must pay more than $800,000 in legal fees to Spokane Planned Parenthood. This after the company sued the church for their disruptive rallies outside the building. Pastor Ken Peters told KREM 2 News he still believes they did nothing wrong.
I mean, literally, we were singing, praying, and preaching, and that's what we got sued for. And we were doing it after hours when we got sued. We were starting at 6. They closed at 6. So we started it in Spokane. It blew up. It got so popular. Christians loved it. And now it's spread across the nation.
Peter says the church's insurance will pay for the lawsuit costs. He also says this won't stop any future events or rallies they might have. KREM 2 confirmed Spokane County Auditor Vicki Dalton will retire at the end of her term in 2026. But before she retires, she had a message for those wanting to do the job. She said there's so much more to the job outside of elections. The position also handles the county payroll, pays the county bills, and even handles paperwork for buying homes and cars. She wanted to clarify it's not just a single issue job. And exciting news for Spokane Indians fans. The Spokane City Council recently announced Avista Stadium's getting $2 million for renovations. The 64-year-old field requires a major overhaul to comply with the MLB's new stadium requirements that must be finished by the start of the 2026 season. The new regulations are primarily for player, coaching staff, and team support facilities. That was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000. We'll send them right to your phone. As the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students awaits his next court hearing, we have been getting several questions about evidence gathered in the case, specifically about DNA evidence police gathered from the suspect's parents' trash can in Pennsylvania. According to the probable cause affidavit, police used that evidence to link Brian Koberger to the crime scene in Moscow. Several viewers reached out to KREM 2 Verify team to ask, do police need a warrant to search through your trash? KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan took that question to Gonzaga law professor Wayne Unger.
When do police or investigators need a warrant to search through your trash?
So, great question.
And the answer depends on a few factors, including is the trash can outside your home or inside, and what state you live in. Be sure to catch Mark's Verify report coming up Monday on KREM 2 News at 6.